Live and local, it's time for Fan Sports Sunday. If the weekend is a big desert for sports talk, think of this show as an oasis.
Yes, here we go.
Come drink from our pool of hot takes as you quench your thirst with. I thought I was going somewhere, but I'm not. So let's just start the show.
Indeed, let's start the show. Fan Sports Sunday, Tito, DeVier, Reimer with you till a little after 1 o'clock. We'll pick up Reds coverage to take on the Giants today. We got a big show lined up for you today. Lots of college basketball to talk about. We'll have our normal stable of guests with Mecca Don joining us at 12:30. John Gerber joins us at 12:46. NCAA Hoops talk about Jackets lost last night 3-2 to the Senators. They are now 2 points behind the Rangers for the final wild card spot, but CBJ had played 2 fewer games in New York. Jackets host Nashville Tuesday. Crew of DC United 2-1. Crew remain undefeated. DeVier, how are you this afternoon, my friend? Now,
oh man, I'm doing great. It was a spring morning. It was a spring morning.
It was,
and something like waking up to a nice rainy day and it's not too cold. You're just like, hey man, we might be out of the woods with this winter stuff. So
I was looking at that.
Yeah,
because I take a look at the 10-day forecast all the time, and so I'm seeing couple of days where the highs in the 40s still coming up.
Okay.
I don't want that.
But that's all right, though. That's like our lows are 40s. That's okay.
Now I've seen a high for like 49 on Monday the 7th, a high for 47 on Tuesday the 8th. I'm not going to like that.
Oh, it can change, too.
I know, it can change. That's what long ways out there. Anyway, thank you to all for tuning in. And if you're on the YouTube chat, thank you for doing that as well. If you're watching us over there, we always love hearing from you via that as well. Reimer, how are you today, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic because we got some more big-time basketball games on today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a fun day for that. Last night's games were fun to watch, too, even though, look, I know that Duke ended up winning by 20, but it was close for a while, and Alabama, the Seals just couldn't get going for Alabama.
Yeah, it's not just Alabama shot the lights out the game before. Right. I've seen this before where they're just against Duke, they're going to just crap the bed and not shoot the ball well at all. Mm-hmm. It was because Duke's defense is just that good, and they have the length. They shut down Mark Sears, and that's what you got to do.
And it's Duke's offense obviously been on display throughout the season and throughout the tournament. But yeah, it was their defense yesterday, their ability to defend Alabama, and that took them out of their game. And I thought for sure it would be high scoring on both teams' counts. I mean, the over/under was 174.5, I believe, and they got to 150. But this Duke team, they're going to be damn tough to beat. Yeah,
I mean, a lot of the SEC teams, I think Duke just kind of put out the blueprint to beat them. I don't know how you feel, Reimer, but when you look at these SEC teams, they're point guard led. You look at Tennessee and Auburn and Florida with Clayton and we have our guy down there in Auburn with Pettiford. If you can stop those guys, the head of the monster like Duke did, you got a chance to beat these SEC teams. So moving forward, I'm looking forward to seeing how Michigan State defends. Auburn. It's going to be a tough battle there, though. But two Titans clashing tonight. Tito, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Look, you got the Tennessee, Houston at 220, the Michigan State and Auburn at 505, and it's I'll be happy whoever wins those games. I mean, I like most of the coaches involved in this. Actually, I like all the coaches involved in these games. And, Izzo getting to the Final Four would be great. I think Auburn's going to be too strong for them, though. I think Michigan State has gotten the most out of their talent. They are I believe, and Reimer, you may know this, I believe that Michigan State is the first team to start the season unranked, and they have a chance to be the first one to make the Final Four, right?
Yeah, as a 2-seed or lower.
Oh, 2-seed or lower, yes.
Unranked to make the Final Four.
If they can knock
that'd
off
be the
Auburn.
First time it would happen if they win today.
And then Tennessee, Houston, God, those teams are just going to beat the hell out of each other. Those are going to be fun to watch.
That's going to be a rock fight.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
Rock fight.
That might be the first team to 40 wins that game.
Could very well be. You're right. Yes. Florida beat Texas Tech 84-79. A tremendous comeback by Florida. And Florida's done that. There's been a lot of those kinds of games, even though we are Cinderella free at this point and really been pretty much Cinderella free throughout the tournament. DeVier, there has still been some very exciting comebacks by team. Florida being one of them right there in that one. The way Texas Tech was up 10 late in that game, and Florida found a way to come back and win it by 5.
Yeah. I mean, Walter Clayton Jr. just putting out another campaign night just for, Naismith Player of the Year. And did that lock it up for you, Reimer, last night?
No, I think now it's Cooper Flagg.
I think it's Flagg.
Okay,
too.
after his performance last night?
Yeah.
Okay. Since Kevin Durant, right? First freshman.
Freshman? I don't know about that.
Zion
did.
Yeah. But still, it doesn't happen often.
Mm-hmm.
NCAA women's side, Texas beat Tennessee 67-59. USC without Juju wins 67-61 over Kansas State. TCU 71, Notre Dame 62. UConn over Oklahoma 82-59. Their next couple of games today are Duke and South Carolina at 1:00 and LSU UCLA at 3:00. So we'll see that we'll have their Final Four decided here pretty soon as well. The NCAA denied the Syracuse-Colorado spring game, which I thought was pretty stupid. I don't know why you wouldn't want that to happen. Syracuse volunteered, offered they were going to fly out there and do a scrimmage against Colorado out there in Boulder. And it makes, at one point, Oklahoma State's Mike Gundy had a statement about maybe trying to do that with Oklahoma now. They don't do their rivalry game anymore. So he talked about maybe doing that with Oklahoma as well. 1 year it's at Oklahoma State, 1 year it's at Oklahoma. I like the ideas. I'm afraid if you had a rivalry game, you could have guys getting hurt there.
But that happens in spring anyway.
It does, but not as much because you're hitting a teammate. But in this right here, there's so much animosity between the two schools, and you've got kids that maybe wanted to go to Oklahoma, but they didn't take them, so they went to Oklahoma State and really wants to get revenge on somebody out there. I'm not saying it would happen, but it would. I think that you would see if you had two schools like that playing each other's spring game, it could get contentious. I don't think Syracuse-Colorado would as much, but I could see Oklahoma State getting it. But still, I think it's foolish for NCAA to not let teams do this.
Yeah, and I think you have to kind of say no to Dion and Coach Fran just because if you guys sort of are making the rules and scheduling games,
right?
How can we control this? And like it could be a rivalry game. It could be old conferences, old Pac-12s having rivalry games that aren't around anymore. Yeah, Tito, I wish it would have happened, but I understand the logic behind the no.
I'd feel much better about things if they got rid of spring stuff altogether. Just like, you don't have a spring game. If you don't have workouts, that's fine. But don't worry about a spring game. Have a game in the middle of August against a scrimmage against another school, a preseason game, you can even call it if you want to do it that way. But and you could have it and maybe replace one of the cupcakes on your schedule that you normally would be beat up on. Like if Ohio State would play an in-state MAC school every year as a scrimmage. Mm-hmm. You would sell out the shoe still. I bet you would still sell it out in the middle of August if prices are reasonable. I mean, you could charge what you charge for the spring game right now. And I think that would be better than playing this game in the spring and then nothing for a long time.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Tito. I mean, it's no matter what, it's changing in this landscape. The spring showcase, even how we're wording it, is changing. And I think we just need to understand the boundaries. Now, we see that you might not have to play a spring game, but you can't play a full game. Right. So we're going to have to fall somewhere in between there. I'm interested to see how this new structure plays out. And honestly, the best part about it is me, I wasn't a spring game guy. Right. So I like that it's changing. Yeah. Like now, if you were to tell me, we're going to play a rival in this game, I would be all about it.
Yeah. Guardians lost 4-3 to the Royals. They play in Kansas City at 2:10 today. The Reds beat the Giants 3-2. They'll play at 1:40 today, right here on the Fan. Our coverage will start. Is it 1:10? Is that what I'm hearing on this one for you there, Reimer?
Yeah, the coverage starts at 1:10, but first pitch is until 1:40.
What else going on? The Cavs host the Clippers today at 3:30 as they continue their march towards the top seed, which I don't think they've clinched it yet, but they're on the verge of clinching it there for the Eastern Conference. They're very close to it. But like I said, the Jackets also got the loss last night to the Senators. That's a big loss for them, but everything has been falling the right way for the Jackets. They've needed certain teams to lose, and it seems like for the most part they're all losing when the Jackets need them to lose, which is how the Jackets are still, despite that streakily lost like 8 out of 9 games, they are still right now very much in the mix. They do have that game against Nashville on Tuesday here. Nashville's already been eliminated from playoffs, so maybe the Jackets can steal a win on that one or get a win on that one and improve their lot. One other thing too, it came out this week, Michie Johnson is transferring. Yep. He is Adam Jardy from the Dispatch did an article on Michie and talked to him about his reasons for sitting out, essentially being unavailable after 10 games during the season. He said it had nothing to do with playing time. There was just things going on in his life. I think his grandfather had passed away, and then just kind of general life stuff where he said he spoke to a counselor and that person recommended he focus on himself and step away from basketball. So Meechie Johnson will be he went from Ohio State to South Carolina to Ohio State and now goes somewhere else. I think he'll have 1 year left if he gets this red shirt. If they allow him to have the red shirt, they could always deny it. But Meechie, though, is trying to do that as well. And John Mobley came out with an announcement that he's staying. So I like seeing that. I don't like that a freshman announces he's staying. Like, I know it's a world we live in now, but it seems like you shouldn't have.
That's you got to put it to bed, though. Like, hey, don't even start the rumors, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm not
right. That's the world we live in. But I should probably tweet out then, like, I'm going to host Fan Sports Sunday today. I'm back. Every week I can do that.
Let us know your fall plans, Tito.
I'll do that. Yes, I'll let
Post
you know.
It on social media. And you got to get a graphic and everything.
Yeah,
like
I got to do that.
You're wearing an Ohio State sweatshirt with your headphones
on. Yeah.
Sunglasses on.
That's what I need to do, yes. Maybe get a couple of points at the camera, that kind of thing, and just say,
Absolutely.
Tito's back.
Yep.
Coming up next, we're down to 6 teams left in college basketball. Who will end up cutting down the nets? We'll do that next. Fan Sports Sunday on The Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
I'm an old school Joe, and my philosophy is simple and effective. At the end of the day, it's not what you win or lose, it's what you save. And betting reduced juice at Prime Sports Ohio is the way to save money on every single bet. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, Kevin. How's my engine doing?
Well, you tell me, little lady.
What?
Ma'am, an engine is delicate. It's got a lot of parts rubbing together.
Oh, is that so?
Lube her up real nice, and she'll purr like a kitty cat.
How do you know so much about engines?
Well, I spent a lot of time under that hood.
Babe, she is running hot. Let's go. And next time, I get to play the mechanic.
Rev up the romance with Lion's Den, the official store of pleasure, passion, and romance.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron?
Yeah, Jerry?
Something is wrong.
Something's wrong?
Yeah, it's definitely something.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Thumping and bumping and jumping.
What is?
But it's not pumping.
Get Eco.
ECO. Jerry?
Yeah, Aaron.
Are we talking about your sump pump?
Yeah, isn't it great?
Isn't what great?
I like the sound of it. Sump pump. Sump pump, sump pump, sump pump.
Get Eco.
ECO. Jerry, can you keep a secret?
Aaron, I'm as silent as a bank vault in Switzerland.
I kind of like to say it too.
Hey, I should invent a sump pump that lets you know when it's working.
How would it do that?
It would say, sump pump, sump pump, sump pump.
That's a great idea, Jerry, but a sump pump should be exactly like you.
How so?
As silent as a bank vault in Switzerland.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
He shoots, he scores! No matter your sport, it's a great time of year to be a fan. But the fun stops when you or a loved one can't control your gambling. At Maryhaven, we're here to help. Whether it's gambling, drugs, alcohol, or mental health, you don't have to go it alone. With in-person, virtual, and group options, Maryhaven meets you where you are. Always judgment-free. Go to maryhaven.com today. That's maryhaven.com.
1-800-GOT-JUNK makes space for possibilities.
When our clean, shiny truck arrives, it's the sign of a new beginning, a clean start, a breath of fresh air.
All the animals start giggling, a rainbow appears, and music fills the air.
Your best friend calls with happy news. Every table has fresh flowers on it, and your nights are full of candlelight.
We bring the springtime.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
The Jackets are back in Nationwide for a battle with the Predators. Live fan coverage starts Tuesday night at 6:30.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating and Cooling.
Your home for Blue Jackets hockey, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Buy 5, save 5 deals are back at Meijer. Buy 5 or more and save $5 or more when you mix or match on items like Dannon Light and Fit Greek yogurt 4-packs, 5-pound bags of Halo Mandarin oranges, assorted varieties of Kraft cheese, and select 12 packs of Coca-Cola and Pepsi products, plus deposit where applicable. Saving money during the Meijer Buy 5, Save 5 sale makes grocery shopping a good deal better. Exclusions apply. See all deals in store or in the Meijer app.
Reds fans, Snoop Dogg is coming to Great American Ballpark on August 11th. Catch your Reds as they face off against the Phillies and hang out after the game for a live set from Snoop Dogg. Presented by Ohio Lottery and Network for Hope. Want to party in the pit with Snoop? Upgrade your access to a pit field pass. You don't want to miss this. For tickets and more information, visit reds.com/Snoop.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever for a single line. Just $45 per month when you bring your phone, which is less than you spend on Too Tired to Cook takeout every week. Get one line on Unlimited Welcome for $45 per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Columbus Verizon store by April 2nd to save. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on Unlimited Welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Rain this morning and very muggy and mild as we go into the day. We will see some clearing. Temperatures in the afternoon topping out in the low 70s. However, our eyes shift on the focus for severe weather as we go into the after dark hours. Some storms could be strong to severe with damaging winds, large hail, and even isolated tornadoes. So have ways to get warnings and stay connected to 10 TV. As we go into Monday, the rain will end early. Otherwise, we'll see cloudy skies and temperatures in the upper 50s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. Live, local, and still slightly drunk.
I'm not drunk, all right? I just have a speech impediment.
This is Fan Sports Sunday.
Fan Sports Sunday. Thank you for tuning in here. It's Tito, it's DeVier, it's Reimer. Before we dive into more basketball talk, I want to do a betting talk with you guys. Did you guys hear about, and it's about basketball's related to though, did you guys hear about this guy down in Florida who placed a futures bet? Did you hear about him, Reimer, or not? You heard about this story?
No. I don't think so.
Okay. This guy on May 12th last year, and he's a Gator fan. He admits that. He's in St. Augustine, Florida. He did a parlay May 12th last year. Here were the legs for it. Tennessee to win the College World Series, which they did. The Dodgers to win the World Series, which they did. Ohio State to win the CFP, which they did. The Eagles to win the Super Bowl, which they did. The last leg is Duke to win the national championship. The payout on that $5 bet would be $168,300. So he said, he told ESPN, this guy's name, by the way, he's got a, let's see if I saw his name on this thing. It's $1,000 bill is what he calls himself. And he's like I said, he's a Florida fan.
What's on the bet? What do we got down?
It's $5 to win $168,000.
Nice.
So before the Sweet 16, the website offered him $50,000 cash out now. He turned it down. But before last night's game against Alabama, he sold half the ticket to a secondary market. So he owns half the ticket now, but he got $20,250 for that. It says the price took into account 24% cut of taxes if the ticket's cash. So he would now get half of that $168,000.
So how does this $5 bet get to the point where somebody is insuring these bets? Like, how does it go from you typing it in and somebody's telling you, like, hey, I want to insure this bet?
What do you mean he sold it?
Yeah.
Okay, there's other companies. There's companies out there, and this one was with a market service called PropSwap, where you can go to them and say, look, I've got this ticket. If it cashes, it's worth this much. So he said, look, if Duke wins it, I'm going to collect $168,300. And they said, okay, well, we'll give you $20,250 or whatever the total was for half that ticket. So now, if the 168,300, the prop swap and he will split it. So it'd be 94,000.
And how much did they give him for the ticket?
20,250. So already his $5 bet is guaranteed 20,250. He's already got that money in his pocket. So it's not a bad bet. But now he's guaranteed to make a ton of money still. But if Duke wins it all now, it's less stressful for him because he's already turned 5,000 to more than 20 grand. This guy also did another bet. And this one, for whatever reason, he put down $6.34. Okay, that's what he put down on it.
Yeah.
The legs on that one were Ohio State National, Eagles Super Bowl, Duke NCAA title, Oklahoma City NBA title. Now, if that one hits, it's $52,000. Dude's making a killing.
Well, no, he needs to bet more on himself.
That's how those futures.
That's why his username is $1,000 Bill.
Right.
I don't want to be $1 million Bill.
He said he doesn't really bet that much. But he said he was at home one day and he heard about some other bets that people made like that and made some money on them. But he did 5 to 10 of these. He said most of them ended up obviously dying out. But yeah, the big one though for that 168.3, that's impressive. So anyway, we'll see if it pans out for him. I think that I'd have a hard time letting that ride out, especially when you got a team like Florida in there still alive.
Or a potential whoever they have to play the next game, Houston or Tennessee, and then or even an Auburn, Michigan State on the other side.
Right, yeah. So it's it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
It's not like it's going to be like the path in the Final Four sets up to where they're guaranteed to get to the championship game. Like they're still going to be playing a 1 or a 2 seed.
I would definitely cash out.
You would, if it was $50,000, would you cash out? Because before the Sweet 16, it was
it was 160.
It was 168, or the website offered him $50,000 to cash out before Duke's Sweet 16 game.
So what about Final Four? You think it'll be like 70, 80?
They might put in something, but I think now probably though, since he sold half the ticket, he would have the prop bet would have to the company would have to agree to that also, which I don't think they'll do.
Right? They'll definitely want to make it ride out.
So, all right, who do you guys have today? Tennessee or Houston? Let's get right to the point on this one. Do you have Tennessee or Houston today, DeVier?
I'm going to go with Houston.
You got Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm the same way. I think Kelvin Sampson's due to get back to a Final Four, and I love their guards, Milo Suzan, LJ Cryer, and Emmanuel Sharp. They play so physical. I think they could give Tennessee's guards some problems.
Mm-hmm.
Houston right now is favored by 2.5. Where I told you the over-under in last night's Alabama-Duke game was 174.5. In this game, it's 125.5. Just tells you how much different those schools play. Duke and Alabama, they're up and down, and then Tennessee and Houston with their stifling defense. I think Tennessee's going to pull this one out.
Oh, really?
You trust Rick Barnes? He is due. He is more due than Kelvin Sampson.
They're both due. They're both due. I mean,
he wanted this Ohio State job a long time ago.
Can we talk about that play at the end of Houston and Purdue? I don't know if it was they said that they worked on that kind of play, but I don't know if the reaction to get the points was pure instinct or if that's how it was supposed to be. Because, how can you know that Braden Smith is going to run out and take the guy taking the 3?
Unless you've got film of them doing that in other situations, thought that confident about it. But yeah, you're right, though. And we'll never get the truth. If I'm Sam, says, that's how I drew it up. Of course, that's how it's supposed to be. There's no way I'd admit to something different. I'd say, it's exactly how it was. So, a damn good play, though.
Yeah, when I saw it happen, I was laying down, and then I just immediately sat up. I was like, no way that's how they just got that. I was like, what is Braden Smith doing? A basketball, he's so smart on the floor, has a basketball IQ of probably, I don't even know, just way up there. And just to see him leave the guy inbounding the ball, leaving the basket wide open. I just don't expect that from a player like him.
Well, maybe they might add in a defender. Yeah. Like you might take one off and add in a defender on a switch. Like sometimes teams do that. So they had to see that on film though.
Just the type of play, the screener action, Tugler is going to be rolling back to the basket for a layup if that option where Cryer going to the opposite side isn't open.
Right.
So, that's still leaving the basket even more wide open, and then Uzan just stepping in is right there.
Auburn, Michigan State at 5:05. Reimer, we'll go to you first. Where are you leaning on that one?
I really want to see Tom Izzo and Michigan State because I love this group that they have. They play with so much passion and energy.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn has just been so good all year, and I feel like they're getting back to that. They had that little stretch there to get into the tournament where they were kind of falling off a little bit, but at the end of the day, like, I feel like I got to go with Tahad Pettiford and Janai Broom and those guys.
Yeah, because of your tournament vernacular and your tournament understanding, you go with point guards in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, especially ones that can settle in, get a bucket when needed. And they've got multiple guys that can do that, not just Tahad Pettiford.
Exactly. I mean, but that guy you just mentioned, he's doing like turnaround mid-post fades.
Yeah, he's disgusting.
It's crazy. Like he's in a Kimba mode right now. It's really scary.
It is the key for Auburn for me is going to be if they can rebound the ball, because Michigan State's got a great rebounding team. If Auburn can stay close in the board battle and not let Michigan State dominate them there and keep Michigan State off the offensive glass, I think Auburn wins. I'm like you. I would love to see Izzo in the Final Four again, but I think Auburn's going to win.
Another thing, too, is like in that Michigan game, they seemed very sloppy with the ball. Yeah. Auburn did. And that is what this Michigan State team thrives on, is getting those turnovers and then running in transition, because they're so good at getting points that way. If Auburn is a little careless with the ball like they were in that Sweet 16 game, that's where it could get them.
Yep, I agree.
Kind of crazy they got Michigan and Michigan State back-to-back in the tournament.
I think Auburn in this game is a 5.5-point favorite as of right now. Over-under set at 147.5. 5.5 is a big number. I think it's one situation where I'd like Auburn to win, but I think I'd take Michigan State in the points.
Yeah, I think so too. I was going to, like, to what DeVier just said about Auburn getting Michigan and Michigan State. What if it would have stunk as an Ohio State fan, I think,
right.
But for the Big Ten, what if we got Michigan State for a spot in the Final Four?
Yeah, you're right. I'd wear so much green.
Yes, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like I can't hate Izzo. I can hate everything about Michigan, but I'm not going to hate Izzo. Somebody on Sports the other day had when they were doing the highlights of the Houston game followed by the Michigan State game, they pulled out an old Stuart Scott and said, we go from the H to the Izzo, is what he said, which is great on Sports Center.
Great.
So honoring the late, great Stuart Scott on that one. All right, coming up next, it's time, folks. Buckle up. Mecca Don joins us here on Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
Hey, Kroger shoppers. Get ready for Customer Appreciation Week happening March 26th through April 1st. We've packed 7 days with amazing deals. And if you're a Boost member, you can save even more. Get excited and get ready to save. Thanks for being such an awesome customer. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Customers can save big on Kroger brand pasta and Kroger brand broth. Select varieties are only 99 cents each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hi, Kevin. How's my engine doing?
Well, you tell me, little lady.
What?
Ma'am, an engine is delicate. It's got a lot of parts. Rub it together.
Oh, is that so?
Lube her up real nice, and she'll purr like a kitty cat.
How do you know so much about engines?
Well, I spent a lot of time under that hood.
Babe, she is running hot. Let's go. And next time, I get to play the mechanic.
Rev up the romance with Lion's Den, the official store of pleasure, passion, and romance.
Well, I started in the window business probably 40 years ago. As the industry grew, I started to realize that everything was wrong. So when I finally decided to start my own company, there were a number of reasons. One of those was I knew I could build a better window. I could take care of my customers. I could service them better. I could make sure that they got what they paid for.
Visit Rosati Windows and get 35% off all windows and doors by March 31st.
Hey Sports Cards fans, I'm Jeff with my buddy Adam, and we run Huggy Kissy Bear breaks on the Whatnot app. What's a card break? Simple. We open boxes of cards live, you pick your team, and we send you all the hits. With over 2,300 5-star reviews, we're all about you. New to card breaks? No sweat. We've got you covered with a sweet welcome package from us. Download the Whatnot app and follow us on Instagram and TikTok to view all of our past Sugar Bear hits. Huggy Kissy Bear breaks, where collectors win big.
If you've recently seen a photo of an older Baker Mayfield fresh off a bender, it's just Bo Bishop. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
All right, it's Fan Sports Sunday. Tito and DeVier. We're trying to get Mecca connect with him right now, see if we can get him on here. Keep giving him a try over there. when you get time there, Reimer. Appreciate that.
This is a fine, Mecca.
I don't think we can find him. I don't know if we can do that or not. But he'll. I'm sure he always. I'm sure he's got a reason. But we'll see if we can get him here and he'll catch him on the phone. Still, we have John Gerber joining us for the next segment. Talk about his golf picks and see what kind of a weekend he had last weekend and what he has lined up. How he's doing so far this weekend as well. I like this round of the NCAA tournament more than I like the round of 32. I know there's a lot more games going on there, but I like being able to be dedicated to 2 games each day, like back to back, where there's not the flipping around, flipping through, and all of that, and trying to to see what the better game is, and trying to remember what the hell channel True TV is because you never watched except for that. But it's these games are a lot of fun because usually you do, especially in a situation like this with so much chalk there, so many blue blood teams and teams we've been able to watch this year quite a bit. There's not some team that's showing up that I haven't seen yet. But anyway, so that's all going on today. And Ohio State, the women got some tough news this week because Cody McMahon announced she's transferring.
Yeah.
And she's been the leading scorer she was leading scorer this year for them. Certainly a big part of the heart and soul of that team, but she is heading elsewhere now, which is tough. But you could tell from the way her body language a little bit. She got frustrated for whatever reason. I'm not sure what the exact reason was, but she seemed very frustrated down the stretch this season, and certainly in the Tennessee game, she seemed frustrated as well.
Yeah. We love Coach McGuff and everybody over there. And then we thought they had a pretty decent season, but when she's showing this level of frustration with her body language, I guess the thing that I wonder is does she want more? Is there a bigger role she's after?
Mm-hmm.
And so is that what the transfer is about? Because it's a talented team, and it's only one basketball. And I know Coach McGuff does a good job of always making sure his team is ready to play, and they're playing at a high intense level. And in his system, it's not really running through one person. Everybody has to share the ball. So.
Dorka Juhas a couple years back was a big-time player for Ohio State also, and she transferred to Connecticut and played there. I don't know if they won the championship that year or not, but she's now in the WNBA. But that was somebody else who was a starter at Ohio State and then took kind of a secondary role at Connecticut, but still got a lot of notoriety and a lot of exposure that probably helped her to get drafted there into the WNBA. But other news, too, Maryland's Kevin Willard has been hired as head coach of Villanova. So it was discussed, like during the tournament, Maryland was still alive. There were rumors that he was going to go to Villanova. Maryland said they did make a last-ditch effort to keep him, but it was finally announced now. When Maryland's athletic director left for SMU, and Damon Evans is his name, went to SMU, and then all of a sudden, then there was Willard came out and made a comment. I need to make fundamental changes to the program. That's what I'm focused on right now. That's why probably a deal hasn't got done, because I need to see the fundamental changes done. I want this program to be great. I want it to be the best in the country. I want to win a national championship, but there's things that need to change. I need to make sure that where we are with NIL and revenue share is not where we've been with NIL over the last 2 years. So essentially, the writing was on the wall at that point that he wanted a bigger commitment from Maryland for the basketball program and didn't feel like they were giving it to him. We're going to see more and more coaches leave for those reasons, I think. And I don't know, I heard Scotty Vegas talk earlier on his show when he was doing the fan call-in show. He was saying that Ohio State, according to one of the people he talked to, was going to double their NIL money for the basketball program. Double what they could pay out, which would be huge, because money is going to be what drives this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to invest it wisely. They didn't invest wisely this past year with Bradshaw and Michi being gone. That ends up backfiring in some ways for that one. But they've got to be smarter about how they spend it. But it gives you an opportunity in Jake Diebler to turn things around very quickly.
I mean, Coach Willard and what they've done at Maryland over these past years, just being competitive. And I don't really think having many pros that came out of there. He coaches the group up very well.
Right.
So he's going to do well at Villanova. And now that he has a budget to go along with his coaching, for him, I understand the frustrations of saying, if I can't have this support, you're leaving me out here with a credit card with a limit of $2,000 and I'm playing against guys who have unlimited credit cards. And it's just, I can't do anything. So I understand it, Tito.
It's Villanova. He's taking over for Kyle Neptune, who did not make the NCAA tournament in 3 seasons in charge of that. He took over for Jay Wright, who had a couple of championships and a couple more Final Four appearances on top of that, I believe. So it's always tough replacing a legend like that. And I'm curious, this tells me that Villanova's got, now Villanova, because obviously I don't even think if they have a football program, they don't put any money into it. But this leads me to believe that Villanova must have made a pretty impressive pitch to Willard about how much they're willing to spend on NIL.
Well, yeah, and like you're saying, it's not football involved, so it's all basketball. You get to lead it, you get to drive the budget, and it's just a talent-rich area too, right? I mean, he already have the East Coast on lock because he's coming from Maryland, so he's kind of staying regionally. He can probably still get after those same recruits that he was just with, and I think it's a good move for him.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that and how they can hopefully invest that money a little more wisely than they did. I wonder what they're going to do with Bradshaw, because with how poorly Bradshaw performed, I wonder if they will cut ties with him or he will cut ties with them. And I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, do you think that Ohio State could or would say, we don't want you back? Or do you think, for the most part, it's up to Bradshaw? Or who should it be up to?
The person who wants to transfer in.
See, I think it should be up to because of the investment now, the financial investment you're making, whatever they gave Bradshaw, I heard different numbers, but whatever they gave Bradshaw, and he didn't get a return on the investment, Ohio State should be able to say, you know what, you need to transfer. We're not going to pay you near that much now. Whatever we're reworking this deal. You can take it or leave it. But I don't even know, with how invisible Bradshaw was this year. A couple rebounds a game for a guy who's 7 feet tall, former 5-star, came in with all the hype. With all of that being said, I don't know what kind of number I'd even want to give Bradshaw.
I'm to the point. Just go after a big that's in the portal that was at a mid-major level, that has the tape, has the film,
and wants half the money.
Yeah, knows that we're going to get a good production out of him, and not just do it all off of potential.
There it is.
Yeah.
Portal paradigm. Posey's portal paradigm. Production versus potential. You always go with production. Period.
I agree that's what they should be doing. They swung and missed so hard. If you spend all your money or the majority of your money on just a few players and 2 of them don't pan out, it's gonna be bad. But luckily, they can get out from underneath this. Gabe Cupps comes over from Indiana. He was a former Mr. Ohio guy in 2022. Went to Centerville High School. He's a 6'2", 180-pound guard. 2 years ago as a freshman, he started 22 games, averaged 2.6 points per game, shot 35.9% from beyond the arc, I should say. He was hurt most of this year, didn't do much. But Ohio State, though, and I'm glad they got Cupps, and I hope he comes and has a great homecoming, but they've got to spend money on bulk. They need guys who can protect the rim and can put a body on somebody. They were lacking that in a big way this year. And, I know they lost some players last year, but they needed somebody in the middle who could play in the middle and intimidate other players.
Well, look at how this Duke roster is formed. They are long everywhere. I mean, I don't think they start anybody shorter than 6'5". And I know, you have what you have now, but that's kind of a mold you should want to build around to have success in college basketball. And I think a guy that they're trying to go after is Dalen Swain at Xavier, and I think he'd be a massive pickup there.
Is he 6'7"?
He's 6'7", really long, athletic.
Right.
He looks like an NBA type wing to me. Well, I've watched him in person down at Xavier when they played UConn, and he had a great game. And I think it'd be a really nice fit. And now you have to replace Micah Parrish to begin with, so you need another 3 anyways.
Right.
I think that'd be a nice fit there.
I'm looking here on Swain. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yes. So what, he averaged 11 points a game this year. 5.5 rebounds, which when you're 6'7", and our 7'2" guy, whatever, gets like 2.5 rebounds a game, whatever. He visited Ohio State, and then Texas now is where he's headed to visit them as well to see if he wants to play there. It says he's 6'8", 220, and he played for Sean Millard Xavier, so there's a tie-in on that. But, boy, I tell you, Swain, I hope he comes back to Columbus.
That would be great because we need that small forward piece. So obviously, we face Parrish, but I love this 3-guard attack. I mean, you think about the way that we use Quez Glover this year along with John Mobley and Thornton, and you got a guy like Cups that you can just put in the game. If he's coming off the bench or whether he starts, if you got one of those guys down, you got a 3-headed guard monster there that can really manage the game and score the basketball for you. So if I were to look at our portals, Brimer, I would say small forward and a big. We're pretty locked up at guard.
Yeah, and you got Taysom Chapman when he's able to come back, too, to come off the bench as well. So they've got depth there in the backcourt, which is huge.
I'm curious. We haven't even Thornton yet. That's the one. Look, I didn't need Mobley to announce something. I need Thornton to announce something.
Yeah, that's the big one. That's what I need. You need your lead guy there coming back.
Right. And I've said it before, if he decides to go somewhere else, there's no bigger school that will give him a bigger role than this. He's not going to go to a bigger school in Ohio State and be like their leading scorer all of a sudden, the guy they go to in crunch time all the time. It's not going to be that. So I hope he sticks around because that would be a very huge keep for Ohio State. All right, coming up next, we'll check in with our golf betting expert, John Gerber. We'll do that next. This is Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon, even if this promo is playing in the morning. No judgment.
Sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever for a single line. Just $45 per month when you bring your phone, which is less than you spend on Too Tired to Cook takeout every week. Get one line on unlimited welcome for $45 per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Columbus Verizon store by April 2nd to save. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings. Want to upgrade your outdoor space? Check out Getchy's in Dublin for a massive selection of maintenance-free poly lumber furniture. It's built to last, no staining, and it's made from recycled materials. Need a storage shed, pergola, or even a garage? Well, they're Central Ohio's trusted dealer for Weaver Barnes as well. If you need a kid's playset, they've got custom wood and vinyl designs built for fun and durability. Stop by Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings' huge showroom in Dublin or shop over 7,000 products online at AmishCountryFurnishings.com.
We're catching up with that famous deep-sea explorer, Jacques Black Jacques. Jacques, where are you today? You're in Columbus. What could you possibly be exploring in Columbus?
The April showers bring flooding to Batmans.
Oh, I see. Spring rains mean basements are flooding.
This is not necessary. Apex Pros.
Not necessary. Call Apex Pros.
A simple zoom pump chick.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble understanding this. Zoom pump check. Sump pump check. Are you saying sump pump check? Yes, of course. Sump pump check from the pros who knows at Apex Pros.
They come to your house.
They come to your house.
They test your zoom pump.
They test your, what is it again?
Zoom pump.
Some pump, right.
All with a 5-star guarantee.
All with a 5-star guarantee. Now, see, I understood that perfectly.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Leases on approved credit. No security deposit required. Tax, tags, title, and dealer fees extra. Ends April 1st.
I'm Rick Reichert. If the calendar says March and there's basketball on TV, it can only mean one thing. Markdown madness at number 1, Reichert Ford. Reichert Ford has sold vehicles to every state in the nation. And we'll sell you one too. Lease new 2024 F-150S TX for just $399 a month for 36 months. 0 down. Plus you get Reichert Ford's exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty because we're dealing. Saving money is a slam dunk at Reichert Ford. Lease new 2024 Bronco Sport for just $399 a month for 36 months. 0 down. Plus Reichert Ford's exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty. It's madness. Markdown madness at the number 1 largest volume Ford dealer in Ohio, Reichert Ford. At Route 33 and Hamilton Road, 2 minutes off 270, and at ReichertFord.com. We're dealing.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
Based on 2024 Ford report for total new retail sales. Cincinnati region. Leases on approved credit. No security deposit required. Tax, tags, title, and dealer fees extra. Ends April 1st.
The Fan has been ranked as the second best sports station in America by our industry peers. Our heartfelt thank you is in order. But we're not doing it because we're better than that hillbilly Birmingham station that came in first. Thanks for nothing.
Hear that? That's the sound of saving a good deal more when you shop with M-Perks at Meijer. Some delicious blueberries, money saved. A creamy treat of cookie dough ice cream, that's money saved. Savings, savings, savings. Because every dollar spent is also 10 points earned in M-Perks, which you can use to save on your next grocery trip or up to $1 off per gallon on your next tank of gas. At Meijer, we work hard to help you save a good deal more for a whole lot less. That's bringing more good to life. Exclusions apply. See mperks.com for details.
Hi, Kevin. How's my engine doing?
Well, you tell me, little lady.
What?
Ma'am, an engine is delicate. It's got a lot of parts rubbing together.
Oh, is that so?
Lube her up real nice, and she'll purr like a kitty cat.
How do you know so much about engines?
Well, I spent a lot of time under that hood.
Babe, she is running hot. Let's go. And next time, I get to play the mechanic.
Rev up the romance with Lion's Den, the official store of pleasure, passion, and romance.
Hey Sports Cards fans, I'm Jeff with my buddy Adam, and we run Huggy Kissy Bear breaks on the Whatnot app. What's a card break? Simple. We open boxes of cards live, you pick your team, and we send you all the hits. With over 2,300 five-star reviews, we're all about you. New to card breaks? No sweat. We've got you covered with a sweet welcome package from us. Download the Whatnot app and follow us on Instagram and TikTok to view all of our past Sugar Bear hits. Huggy Kissy Bear breaks, where collectors win big.
He shoots, he scores! No matter your sport, it's a great time of year to be a fan. But the fun stops when you or a loved one can't control your gambling. At Maryhaven, we're here to help. Whether it's gambling, drugs, alcohol, or mental health, you don't have to go it alone. With in-person, virtual, and group options, Maryhaven meets you where you are. Always judgment-free. Go to maryhaven.com today. That's maryhaven.com.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution specialists.
During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Sunday.
Fan Sports Sunday. He's the host of the #1 golf podcast in Ohio. Host of From the Rough podcast on FanStream Sports. Betting expert, writer for Athlon Sports. He is John Gerber, joining us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System fan guest hotline. Oh, Gerb, you're sitting at a good spot today, buddy.
Good afternoon. Yeah, please.
Just tell it.
Silence that. Just silence that. Now, DeVier can say whatever he wants, but Tito, you know how this works. You just have to relax. Just relax. No, we're looking at a great spot. You're right. I mean, after last week, we were 3-1-1 on our matchups to get our total to 25-3 for the year. Jeez. On our matchups. A little profit last week, so we're right around that even, which we like going into the Masters. If we can be around even for the year going into the Masters, we kind of hit our stride. But this week we do have Victor Perez in that top 20 spot. If he has a pretty decent round there, we're going to cash in on him. And Davis Thompson, we got him at 30-1, and we have our leader Minwoo Lee at 30-1. So he's got a 4-shot lead. So hopefully he can learn from what he's done when he's had to lead in the past at the Players Championship, and I think he's going to get it done today. I love his pairing today. We're playing with Ryan Fox and Toasty. I think that's a way better pairing than having Scotty Scheffler play with him. I'm not saying he's just starstruck by any means, but Scotty can put some pressure on him, and I certainly think Scotty's going to make a move today.
So when Scotty does it, you mentioned the thing with Scheffler there, and I know there's going to be a lot of people around anyway, but how much does that affect the player, you think? Like, if Scheffler's there, the gallery is going to be even bigger than it normally would be, I would think. But if you're playing with that and with a pro-Scheffler crowd, does that affect these guys much?
Well, for the most part, Scotty's playing with guys like Rory most of the time. He's not really – and Minwoo Lee, by no means. I mean, he's a top 30 player in the world. So he's used to the limelight. He's been a superstar. He's been a star for a long time. He's not quite a superstar yet. And then kind of, with his sister – Minji Lee, they've been groomed to be in the spotlight for a long time. So if anyone that's kind of not the biggest name out there could handle that type of pressure, it would be him. But certainly, Scotty brings a presence that a lot of those guys don't.
I always like to zero you out and ask my big golf questions. You're my golf expert. I was watching
Masters again.
No, this is different. So I'm watching a pod with Bubba, and he kind of mentions that just the year that we saw Scotty on, just overall he feels like it kind of rivals Tigers, but he feels like it's just a bit better because you were able to throw that gold medal in there on top of that run that he was on. I just wanted to know, Gerbs, like, how did you feel about those 2 years just in comparison and just the run that we might get with Scotty here over the next 5 years?
Yeah, I think it's those 2 years, the last couple years that he has, certainly is the most comparable to Tiger. But I think no one is going to do what Tiger has done. I think Tiger's accomplishments and his span was better than Scotty's, but Scotty was the closest that we have seen to that in a long, long time since Tiger. It's really hard to duplicate that with, this year you could see Scotty not really performing as well as he did last year. But that being said, it's just difficult to continue to do it. Just a lot of other things. There's more responsibilities that he's had, this year. That he's had in, probably 3 years before. So, the run was certainly impressive. I don't think is nearly impressive as Tiger's, but it's going to be hard for him to continue over the next 2 or 3 years to continue that pace, I think.
With the Masters coming up, I've always wanted to ask you this question. With the Masters coming up, and, some guys obviously take off the week before to prepare for the Masters. I don't know, how far out can somebody start preparing for the Masters? Like, if could somebody say, I'm going out there 3 weeks early, or will the course be much different from that time till the Masters? You know what I mean? Like, how far is there a certain time when you can go out there and start getting ready a week in advance or whatever? Or do they change the course much between that 3 week or 4 week span?
The weather will be it's kind of dependent on the weather. I mean, you could get some spotty weather in Augusta and that whole area. So I don't think the guys really prepare a month in advance for Augusta. I think they have other events to play. I think they want to get competition ready, so they're playing events and tournaments. I think most of the guys will get there. The guys aren't playing San Antonio next week. They'll certainly be there. They might go, once you get the invite to Augusta, you can go there anytime. So some of the guys that maybe don't know it as well as the others, they'll go there a few times through the year, maybe in the fall or maybe in maybe in March or something like that, just to get familiar with it. But prep-wise, in terms of conditions for the course, they won't really do anything until probably a week or 10 days before the tournament itself.
So that's coming up April 10th to 13th, is when the Masters. Are you going out there this year or not?
I am not going out there. Unfortunately, I usually go out there every other year, but I am covering the Heritage in Hilton Head. So we'll be doing live shows from the Heritage in Hilton Head the week after. So the schedule just didn't fit for me to go, especially with the opportunity to do live shows from from the Heritage. And I'm going to do some on-course reporting also for the Heritage, which is a signature event. So we're looking forward to that from the Rough Podcast. So it's a great opportunity for us, and we're looking forward to it. Maybe a little maybe we have a little Jim Nance on the show on that Wednesday. We're trying to set that up. So that would be great for us to be able to do that.
That'd be cool. Last week, Gerb, when I was talking to DeVier about Pro Day at Ohio State, and for someone like me.
I actually end up going
if I got invited to Pro Day for just come out as a media member or whatever, I would say yes, and I'd probably camp out the night before to make sure I got in there early. When DeVier was asked about, DeVier, you going to Pro Day? Maybe I'll swing by. I'll see. Like he's so much just like nonchalantly disgusted. The reason I'm bringing that up to you, you said you try to go to the Masters every other year.
Right.
Do you have a standing, like any year you want to go to the Masters? Can you get into the Masters?
Yeah, we're very fortunate as a PGA member. We have complimentary tickets to the Masters for PGA members. So
transferable, right?
Well, they're transferable to everybody except for you.
Okay, so I'll text over my email address.
Yeah, no, we get one complimentary ticket for just being a PGA member. We can request an additional ticket for someone. Usually have to do that a year in advance. But yeah, as a PGA member, that's a great perk for us. On top of that, with the Ryder Cup, we have, we can get complimentary tickets to most PGA Tour events, the Ryder Cup, the PGA, and the majors. So that's just a great perk. But I love going to the Masters. It's a long week. It's a busy week. There's a lot of people. And to be honest with you, it's a hard walk. When you're walking that golf course, it's a lot of fun to see it, but it is definitely a hard walk. So every other year for me is enough.
I tell you, Gerb, you made a mistake admitting that, because now everybody from the Brookhaven class of 1990 that hasn't talked to you in years, hey, Gerb, man, can you give me a ticket to this? It's going to happen now, because now they've heard it, and now you're going to get bombarded with requests.
And that's fine. Just make those checks out with a lot of zeros. That's for sure. We can certainly figure that out.
When you decide how you're going to give those tickets out, though, just remember, I've been with you since the start.
That's true.
Okay, just keep that in mind, Gerber.
That's true. I'm not saying it's going to help you, but that is true.
All right. Win some money out there, bud. I'll keep the golf off. I'll watch basketball instead, and then you can cash that check.
I appreciate it, fellas. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. We'll have Gerb on again next week, as we do every week. He is host of From the Rough podcast, the number one golf podcast in the state of Ohio, most popular one, and also Athlon Sports. He's now I'm upset that he is not offered it to. That he hasn't. Like, I get a compliment, right? I use it every other year. No, you don't use it every.
I think that's worse than not going to pro day.
It's close to that.
It's worse.
No, I think it's close. I think it's close.
Pro Day is definitely behind it.
I agree, but it's close. So, and the Ryder Cup thing, I don't know when it's going to be around here next. Bet your ass I'm calling Gerb and asking for a ticket there.
Yeah. Ask for the cheaper events.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, we can do that.
Give me one, Tito.
Coming up next, top of the hour, we can trade for the day in sports. Lots going on. And a team that's been around since 1903 did something yesterday for the first time ever. We'll do that next. Fan Sports Sunday on the Fan.
Bobby Carpenter doesn't have a mullet, but he's knee-deep in mullet energy. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Scott for Scott's here. How did the grass feel when it woke up from winter? A little crabby. Get it? Crabgrass? Right now, there's a short window of time to apply Scott's Turf Builder Halt's Crabgrass Preventer. It stops crabgrass before it invades and feeds your lawn for a fast green up after winter. Act now to prevent your grass from waking up crabby this spring. That joke never gets old. But trust me, crabgrass does.
Get a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Halt's Crabgrass Preventer with lawn food today.
Feed your lawn. Feed it.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. You know, as much as I enjoy being a professional inventor, a few of my dream inventions still elude me.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Well, the bruiseless avocado.
Ooh.
The unlosable TV remote.
Could change the world.
And for you, Aaron, the uncloggable drain.
Get Eco.
Until you crack it, Jerry. You know our 93 or free drain clearing offer is the next best thing.
Okay. Explain yourself.
Get Eco.
Our drain team will clear your drain for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it'll stay clear for at least a year, or we will clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
We'll even send our little robot camera down there to make sure you don't have a larger problem that could cause more trouble in the future.
Get Eco.
You think your guys could bring that robot over to my place and help me find that TV remote?
I think that's impossible even for us.
Get Eco.
Eco, plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Hey Kroger shoppers, get ready for Customer Appreciation Week happening March 26th through April 1st. We've packed 7 days with amazing deals. And if you're a Boost member, you can save even more. Get excited and get ready to save. Thanks for being such an awesome customer. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Customers can save big on Kroger brand pasta and Kroger brand broth. Select varieties are only 99 cents each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings. Want to upgrade your outdoor space? Check out Getchy's in Dublin for a massive selection of maintenance-free poly-lumber furniture. It's built to last, no staining, and it's made from recycled materials. Need a storage shed, pergola, or even a garage? Well, they're Central Ohio's trusted dealer for Weaver Barns as well. If you need a kid's play set, they've got custom wood and vinyl designs built for fun and durability. Stop by Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings' huge showroom in Dublin or shop over 7,000 products online at AmishCountryFurnishings.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports. Sports Center.
And I'm Jacob Reimer. We had the first 2 tickets to the Final Four in San Antonio punched yesterday, and they were the 2-1 seeds. Florida used an 18-6 run in the final minutes to come from behind and beat Texas Tech 84-79. Walter Clayton Jr. dropped a 30-piece and delivered some clutch buckets to power the Gators to a win. And Duke dominated Alabama 85-65 to get back to the Final Four. The other 2 tickets will be punched today, with Houston taking on Tennessee at 2:20 and Michigan State representing the Big Ten looking to knock off Auburn. In baseball, the Reds look to win their first series of the year in a rubber match with the Giants this afternoon. First pitch is at 1:40 with pregame coverage beginning at 1:10 right here on The Fan. The Guardians are in the same boat today after splitting the first 2 with the Royals. They go for the series win shortly after 2 o'clock. And the Cavs look to get back in the right direction when they welcome in the Los Angeles Clippers. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Your go-to destination for Buckeye football talk all year round. This is Fan Sports Sunday.
If you're the Cavaliers, do not do what Reimer just did and look past the Clippers. He looked past some Clippers, no respect. Cavs, don't do that.
Oh, wow.
What do you mean I looked past them?
You did. You totally did. You disrespected them.
I just fumbled at the words.
Like if I said that's our producer back there, John Reimer. That'd be disrespectful. Know your name, Jacob Reimer.
I got tongue twisted. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Hey, trust me, I've had some of the worst Sports Center updates ever. Some of the worst ever.
Those aren't easy.
They aren't easy doing them live like that.
You got to get them done in a minute.
You're right.
I deserve some respect for doing it live.
You do, John. I give you respect.
Thank you, DeVier.
Couple of things. The Yankees have been around since 1903. Yesterday, they did something they have never done before, DeVier. They're playing at home, and the first 3 pitches of the game, the first 3 pitches the Yankees saw against the Brewers, the Yankees hit out of the park.
Yep.
3 straight home runs on 3 pitches. Hit 9 home runs for the game, but they've never done that in 3 straight pitches to start the game before, which is pretty impressive there. 3 pitches, 3 homers. It was against a former Yankee, too. I believe it was on the mound for the Brewers. And they were using this new bat. Did you see the bat? Have you seen the bat, Reimer? Okay. They've added more. It's shaped. It looks almost like a damn softball bat. Like the way that the head of it, they put more wood up there at the head of it. Take a look if you can see it. And it's got a much different look. And they started using that, I believe, yesterday, maybe the first time they started using it. But they just redistributed where some of the weight was.
Just like a golf club, right? You just put it in a different part of it.
Yeah, but they move it up. It looks like, it seriously looks like one of those big barrel bats you might have. You might see somebody hit with a softball, except these are made out of wood. But they were using that yesterday, and with the success they had, and granted, it still takes talent. I mean, Goldschmidt hit a home run and Judge hit 3 in the game. But to be able to do that, though, it still takes a hell of a lot of talent. But interesting, though, that they use that bat, that type of bat, and it's just funny to look at. It does not look like a normal major league bat. But they had 9 homers in the game. They scored 20 runs and blew out the Brewers there. Something else that I saw.
They also left like two or three of them out there, too. We're just short just a little bit.
The Judge had 3 home runs in the 5th inning. I think he had 3. And 4's like the no one's hit more than 4 in a major league game, and he still had a couple more bats. And then
so close to 2 more home runs after that.
That would have been fun to see that. So, this Paul Skeens card that sold for $1.11 million from that kid in California who pulled the card. And then they auctioned it off. The owner of Dick's Sporting Goods bought it, and he said he's going to display the card at one of their stores in Western Pennsylvania. So, and it was brought up that this happened, something similar to this happened in 1927. Babe Ruth came into that game and had 59 home runs, which tied his record from 1921. So he needed a 60th home run to break the record. And everybody, according to the Athletic article, the nation had been tracking his progress all summer. This guy named Albert Warner, whose nickname was Truly, he owned a chain of stores, headquarters for hats. And he had an idea. Before the game, he went to a bunch of the Yankees stadium and hot dog peanut vendors that go around, selling the things in the stands. And he paid each of them to get the word out, to tell fans in the outfield stands there that he would pay $100 to whoever could get him the 60th home run ball. Mm-hmm. Now, $100 would be about $1,800 a day.
Yeah.
So a big difference from $1.1 million. And in the bottom of the 8th inning, Ruth hit the 60th home run. Joe Forner, this Yankee fan, he was a 40-year-old truck driver, grabbed it, got the ball authenticated the best he could, which I don't know how they do it there. But he went to the Yankees locker room, had Ruth sign and inscribe the ball, and then gave the ball to Warner in exchange for $100. And he ended up then putting it on display in his stores to get people to come in and look at it. And that's what Dick's is going to do. They're going to do the same kind of thing. They're going to just put it on display in a store and people come in and look at it, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't go look.
People are you driving to Western PA to go?
No, I wouldn't. But maybe people in Western PA, though, or if someone happens to be traveling there to visit family or something, may want to go see it. But it would not be an appointment for me to do something like that. I would not do that. And then there was another thing here I want to find about the Shohei Ohtani had a card, a 1-of-1 card. The 50th home run ball, first of all, went for $4.392 million. Paid for the 50th home run ball when he became the first one to ever hit 50 home runs and steal 50 bases in the game. But 50 bases in the season, I'm sorry. It was that great game he had where he had, I think, 3 home runs and 2 stolen bases in the game is what it was. But anyway, an ESPN reported this, that his 50-50 card, an autographed card that was a 1-of-1 from that season, and it's got a, you can see he's wearing the logo from the pants he wore in that game. That went for $1.067 million, the most paid for an Ohtani card. I would have to have so many billions of dollars to ever pay $1 million for a baseball or $1 million for a card. And that's the thing where the card collecting industry has gone by the wayside, because you used to want to collect to get sets of cards. Now you're collecting to try to get a lottery ticket. You know, you're trying to pull the $1 million card. You don't care about anything else.
But wasn't that always the original thought at the beginning of trading cards when you had is like, I'm going to keep this because they're going to be worth a lot. Now the industry has arrived, Tito. Welcome, baby. Yes.
It's funny to me though. Like I don't even know if someone gave me pack cards right now and I open it up, I wouldn't know how rare the card is. Like I'd have to know ahead of time what I'm looking for.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, this is Paul Skeens. Oh, okay, yeah. Paul Skeens. Okay, I'll put it in a box or whatever. But I would not know what to look for as far as the specific to know if it's a special card or not. You know, it's all it's on cardboard. You know, come on. There's some cases I guess it's not, but yeah, it's the previous record for an Ohtani card was $533,140 paid for a 2018 Bowman Chrome rookie autograph orange refractor rookie card. How about that? There's only 25 of those. A Bowman Chrome rookie autographs orange refractor rookie card. I used to get a Topps card. Maybe it was an all-star card. That's about it, though. But anyway, it's crazy how that is going. We got a big day in sports today, DeVier. I'm not allowed to watch the golf, but because Gerb said I can't do that. I don't know if that's actually. I think he blows that out of proportion. I don't think I'm that bad of a good luck shot. Yeah, I don't think I'm that like that yet. He's got a 4-shot lead.
Well, we'll find out either if you do watch today or the Masters, because I know you'll be watching the Masters.
I'll watch
if any
the
of
Masters.
his picks are in contention and then they fall off on Sunday, then I think we can know why.
The 1 year might have been last year or 2 years ago. I think it was last year at Muirfield, and there was a guy that he had winning head-to-head or something, whatever it was, and Morikawa, I think it was, and I met and talked to Morikawa for a few minutes that day before his round. And then Morikawa withdrew with a back injury. And so I think that's where Gerb gets it from. The fact that I met the golfer, said hello to him, talked for a few minutes, talked golf for a few minutes with Morikawa, and then it comes out that by the way, perfectly upright when I saw him. So
did Gerb have his money on Morikawa that day?
He did, I think.
Oh,
yeah. All right, that's it for us. It's been a great show. Thank you to Gerber for jumping on with us. Thank you, DeVier. Thank you, John Reimer. And make sure you stick around, because coming up next, the 1-1 but should be 2-0 Cincinnati Reds. They're in action against the Giants. That's down at Great American Ballpark. Thanks so much for tuning in.